This is the story of an underrated Japanese sedan so humble that everyone in the world forgot about it. Bye! I love you. Hold on to your little butts, because by the end of this episode, you're gonna be scouring Greg's List looking for Sentras. This is everything you need to know to get up to speed on the Nissan Sentra SE-R. The Sentra SE-R is an amazing machine, but it's not even a robot. On a completely unrelated note, thanks to War Robots for sponsoring this video. War Robots is a tactical multiplayer game where you get to dive a big old robot around and shoot other robots. I'm gonna be honest, I don't play many of video games, but this one is sick. If you download the game using the link below, you get a special bonus pack that includes 100 gold, 400,000 silver, a full set of weapons, a GI patent robot, and a unique skin for it. That's a lot of stuff. You can fully customize your war robot and fight others in a 6-on-6 online battle. Choose from many different robots, weapons, skins, maps, and game modes. Click the link below to download War Robots. I wish I could choose my skin sometimes, because honestly, I feel uncomfortable in mine. Nissan used to be called Datsun, and in the 70s they made a neat little sedan called the Datsun 510. It was small, light, and people loved making them go fast. They still do. It's a great car, and it helped put Datsun on the map as a real driver's company. We did an episode on it. Watch it here after. Fast forward a few years to 1982. The world needs economical, durable, and affordable sedans. Nissan answered the call with the Sunny, a 2-door, 3-door, 4-door, and 5-door compact car. In the US, we knew it as the B11 Sentra.
The Nissan Sentra.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The Sentra doesn't really get interesting for a few more years. We're gonna just skip a whole generation and just get right into it, okay? Is that okay with you?
Yes, I trust that you're keeping my best interests in mind, and I appreciate that you respect and value my time as a viewer. Thank you.
Thank you. 1990, the Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore classic Ghost is number 2 at the box office. Wilson Phillips, Hold On, ruled the Billboard 100, and Nissan was busy refreshing the Sentra for the 1991 model year. Nissan set their sights on beating the Toyota Corolla. Like the Sentra, the Corolla was a compact and value-driven sedan for the entry-level buyer. A few years earlier, the Corolla had become a driver's favorite with the release of the AE86, but the days of rear-wheel drive were behind it, and the Corolla joined the Sentra in the land of front-wheel power. Since the Sentra had been front-wheel drive since day one, they saw the Corolla as a major threat. Hey, that Corolla's pretty good. Kids were drifting the old one down Mount Akina, and now the new one is front-wheel drive like our car? What are we gonna do, boss? Get a hold of yourself. We'll just have to make our car better. The new B13 Sentra would come with features uncommon in the subcompact segment, like sunroofs, alloy wheels, power windows, and all that good stuff. But I'm not here to talk about trim levels, okay? I'm here to talk about cars and kicking butt, and I'm all out of butt. Nissan added a new variant to the lineup. It would be fast, it would handle well, and it would be red. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Sentra SE-R. The B13 SE-R was like the Datsun 510 of old. It was small, light, and affordable, and like the 510, the SE-R had tons of potential to go really, really fast. Nissan did something not a lot of other companies did with their subcompacts. They put a really good engine in it. Powering the SE-R was one of the best engines Nissan ever made, the SR20DE. That might sound familiar to all you dirty little drifters out there, because a turbocharged version powered the S13 and S14 over in Japan and Europe. But not here. We got a truck engine. For some reason. Anyway, the plucky little SR20 revved all the way up to 7,500 RPM, singing a glorious song all the way there. The 2-liter displacement and dual overhead cams produced a very, very respectable 140 horsepower, which was unheard of in the subcompact segment. This Sentra's rival, Corolla, was making at most 115 horsepower. And It had independent suspension all the way around. This made for a very balanced little chassis. Car magazines of the time were including the SE-R on their top 10 best car lists, pitting the little subcompact against cars like the Acura NSX. How was this possible? Well, the SE-R put the power down with the help of a little thing called a viscous limited slip differential that could evenly split the power between the front two wheels. That means when you're coming out of a turn with your foot on the gas, you're not doing a one wheel peel. No one tire fires here, both wheels turning. The LSD came standard on the SE-R, which again was insane in the subcompact market. The SE-R also had disc brakes on all four corners. Again, crazy for 1991. But perhaps the craziest part about the SE-R was the price. The original MSRP was just under $11,000 in 1991 money, about 20 grand today. It was the same price as a Corolla, but way more fun. Mission accomplished. So why doesn't anyone talk about it now? Well, Nissan blew it. When it came time to replace the B13 in 1995, the new B14 Sentra was ugly. Nissan replaced the independent rear suspension from the previous gen with a torsion bar configuration. While torsion can be good in some cars, it was a definite step back in the Sentra. And Nissan fans were kind of insulted by this. They saw cars like the Civic Si, the Miata, the Integra GSR, and they wondered why they couldn't buy a Nissan like that. I imagine Nissan felt bad because a replacement wasn't far off. The year 2000, Y2K had just killed us all. The Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas was number 71 at the box office. Nissan had a new Sentra for the US, and it was poised to bring us back to the good old days of the B13. The B15, which this one is, was once again available with an SE-R option. Rejoice! It was no longer powered by the SR20, but now had a 2.5 liter QR25DE borrowed from the Altima. Bolted on the back was a 5-speed transmission. But Nissan had a little trick up their sleeve, because this SE-R wasn't even the baddest SE-R you could get. Back in Japan, Nissan was selling a little car called, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, the Skyline GTR. It's pretty sick. One of the Skylines was called the V-Spec. We did a bumper to bumper on one. Watch it here, but you probably want to watch the rest of this video first. Nissan wanted to bring a little tasty taste of that car to their budget compact car in the US. I mean, it makes sense. The B15 SE-R Spec V had the same QR25 as the lower SE-R, but this one made 10 more horsepower, cranking out 175 horsepower and 180 torques. The Spec V also had a helical limited slip differential, kind of like the B13 from a few years back. The Spec V also had tons of suspension upgrades that tightened up the handling, as well as a tower strut brace up front to strengthen the front end. This B15 weighed about 200 pounds more, or one Nolan, than the original SE-R, but hey, it made 40 more horsepower. But Nissan fans didn't think the Spec V quite lived up to the B13 SE-R. The main reason was size. I mean, the Sentra was no longer the tiny little subcompact sedan of years gone. In 2007, the Sentra was refreshed and made even bigger, officially entering the mid-size sedan class. The SE-R and Spec V were still kicking, with the former making a respectable 200 horsepower. The Spec V had all the same improvements as the B15. Better suspension, much better brakes, limited slip diff, yada yada yada. But despite those upgrades, critics and fans didn't fall in love with the B16, because there was a car called the Civic Si that destroyed it in nearly every way. Skip forward to today. Instead of a Spec V or even an SE-R package, Nissan decided to give the Sentra the Nismo treatment. Yup, you Nissan nerds know what I'm talking about. The same name that has adorned Skylines and Zs for decades is now on the Sentra. It's got beefed up power and better suspension. It also has a ton of red stuff on it. Let's go back to the B13 real quick. So Nissan only built them between 1990 and 1994, but Nissan Mexico did it for a little longer. Their Sentra down there is called the Tsuru. They built these suckers for years. It was the most popular car in Mexico until 2011. The Tsuru was super reliable, cheap to maintain, and lasted forever, making it an undercover icon around the world. When the Mexican government updated its safety standards, mandating anti-lock brakes and airbags, only then did Nissan stop building it. In 2017. Thanks for watching Donut Media, guys. It means so much to me. I can't believe so many of you guys have subscribed. We're almost at 2 million Sentra SE-R. Do you want one? Let me know down in the comments. We'll chat about it. I want one bad. Follow me at James Pumphrey on Instagram. Follow Donut at Donut Media. Watch this episode of Bumper to Bumper. Watch this episode of Wheelhouse. I love you.